Good morning, class 9. Today we will start the second chapter in Supplementary Reader, Adventures of Toto. You have studied this chapter that it is about a monkey who is very naughty, very mischievous. So today we will see what kind of mischiefs he does. Does he give trouble to people, or he just does his own mischiefs and he is playful? Let us read and find out. The Adventures of Toto. Have you ever had a baby monkey as a pet? I am sure the answer is going to be no, because generally we keep pet animals as dog, cats, rabbits, then some birds also like parrot, but we hardly see anybody keeping a monkey as a pet animal. Toto is a baby monkey. Let's find out whether he is mischievous or docile. Grandfather bought Toto from a Tonga driver for the sum of 5 rupees. The Tonga driver used to keep the little red monkey tied to a feeding trough. The Tonga driver used to keep the little monkey tied to a feeding trough, means a feeding tray. And the monkey looked so out of place there that grandfather decided he would add the little fellow to his private zoo. So once grandfather saw that a Tonga driver had a little red monkey, the monkey was tied to the feeding tray, feeding trough, and the grandfather felt that the little monkey was out of place there and he should be purchased by the grandfather, that is himself, and he should be made a member of his private zoo. Toto was a pretty monkey. Now children, here this paragraph is describing the features of Toto, how he looked like. So underline all these important lines because we may require in some of the question answers. Toto was a pretty monkey. His bright eyes sparkled with mischief beneath deep-set eyebrows, and his teeth, which were a pearly white, were very often displayed in a smile that frightened the life out of elderly Anglo-Indian ladies. That means the eyes of Toto were bright eyes, they were sparkling bright, and eyebrows were deep. Then the teeth were sparkling white, pearly white, and the smile was such that the ladies got frightened. But his hands looked dried up as though they had been pickled in the sun for many years. That means you must have seen pickles at home. When the pickles are dried in the sun, they shrink in their size. Similarly, the skin, the hands were so dried up that it looked like a pickled, the pickles being dried up in the sun for many years. Yet his fingers were quick and wicked. Although the skin was dry skin, his hands were dry, but his fingers were very quick at work. That means whatever he wanted to do, whether it was related to some mischief or whether it was related to his eating something, his hands used to work, his fingers used to work very fast and in a wicked manner. And his tail, while adding to his good looks, grandfather believed a tail would add to anyone's good looks, also served as a third hand. What does it mean? That the tail was also doing some or the other task for the monkey Toto. His 2 hands helped him to pick up things, eat something, and do whatever he wanted to do. But his tail was also equally helpful like his hands, and it served like his third hand. He could use it to hang from a branch. The tail helped the monkey to hang from one branch of the tree to another branch, and it was capable of scooping up any delicacy that might be out of reach of his hands. That means the tail, that is why the tail has been called as his third hand, because if something, some eatable, was kept at a distance and his hands could not fetch it, then he used his tail to pick up that delicacy, that means that delicious food that he wanted to eat. Grandmother always fussed when grandfather brought home some new bird or animal. So it was decided that Toto's presence should be kept a secret from her until she was in a particularly good mood. That means the other members of the family did not welcome pet animals as the grandfather did. Grandfather therefore decided that because the grandmother would create a fuss, she behaved in a fussy manner when birds were brought as pets at home. So the grandfather thought that if she would see this monkey, then definitely she is going to create a fuss. That is why the presence of the monkey would be kept as a secret until and unless she was in a very good mood. Grandfather and I put him away in a little closet opening into my bedroom wall, where he was tied securely, or so we thought, to a peg fastened into a wall. What is a peg, children? Peg is a wooden object. Any wooden object which could be used for keeping a pet animal. I am reading this again. So it was decided that Toto's presence should be kept a secret from her until she was in a particularly good mood. Grandfather and I put him in a little closet opening into my bedroom wall. That means he was kept in a small little place which had a small opening. The opening was in the bedroom wall, where he was tied securely. He was tied in this little place, or so we thought, to a peg fastened into the wall. Or they thought that he would be kept in that wooden object which was fixed into the wall. A few hours later, when grandfather and I came back to release Toto, we found that the walls, which had been covered with some ornamental paper chosen by grandfather, now stood out as naked brick and plaster. Now this is the first instance to prove that Toto was a very notorious monkey. What did Toto do? He was tied to a wall. In the previous paragraph we have read. So what did he do? After some time, when the grandfather and the writer returned to this place, they found that Toto had scrapped off that ornamental paper which was decorating the wall. The grandfather had decorated the wall with that beautiful paper, and Toto had completely scrapped off that paper, and the brick and the plaster of the wall were now easily visible. The peg in the wall had been wrenched from its socket. Wrenched means turned out. The peg in the wall, the wooden object which was there in the wall, fastened in the wall, it was also out from its socket, from its place where it was fastened. And my school blazer, which had been hanging there, was in shreds. So not only did Toto destroy the ornamental paper, but that peg which was attached to the wall, that was also turned down. It was now removed from its original place, and the school blazer of the writer was now in pieces. I wondered what grandmother would say, but grandfather didn't worry. He seemed pleased with Toto's performance. The writer was worried, how is the grandmother going to react when she would see all this? But grandfather had no worries. He was cool, he was relaxed, and he was happy seeing Toto's performance. What performance? The mischiefs he had done. He is clever, said grandfather. given time, I am sure he could have tied the torn pieces of your blazer into a rope and made his escape from the window. So look at the confidence which grandfather has in Toto. He is saying that Toto is a clever monkey. If some more time would have been given to him, then he would have tied the torn pieces of blazer in such a way that he would have made a rope and used this rope to escape from the window. His presence in the house still a secret, Toto was now transferred to a big cage in the servants' quarters where a number of grandfather's pets lived very sociably together. A tortoise, a pair of rabbits, a tame squirrel, and for a while my pet goat. So look at the number of animals which are there in the private zoo of the grandfather. And now Toto was also transferred to this place where other pet animals were living sociably together. That means they were living in a peaceful manner together. Nobody was giving trouble to each other. But the monkey wouldn't allow any of his companions to sleep at night. So grandfather, who had to leave Dehradun next day to collect his pension in Saharanpur, decided to take him along. When Toto was transferred to the servants' quarter where other pet animals were also staying, Toto did not allow other pet animals to sleep that night. So grandfather, who had to collect his pension in Saharanpur, he had to go to Saharanpur to take his pension. He decided that he is going to take Toto along with him. Unfortunately, he could not accompany grandfather on that trip. Sorry, I could not. Unfortunately, I could not accompany grandfather on that trip. The writer could not go to Saharanpur along with his grandfather on that trip. But he told me about it afterwards. A big black canvas kit bag was provided for Toto, because how is Toto going to go to Saharanpur? He was kept in a big, large canvas kit bag. This, with some straw at the bottom, became his new abode. Abode means place of living, place to live. When the bag was closed, there was no escape. Toto could not get his hands through the opening, and the canvas was too strong for him to bite his way through. That means the canvas bag was very strong. Once the zip of the bag was closed, Toto could not open the bag at all. There was no opening at all, and the canvas is a thick material. The canvas cloth is a thick cloth. It has lot of strength. It is not a very thin cloth that anybody can tear it or open it. So in that canvas bag, Toto was not able to come out. He was not able to bite that canvas bag. His efforts to get out only had the effect of making the bag roll about on the floor or occasionally jump into the air. When Toto was inside this canvas bag, because grandfather was taking him along to Saharanpur, then Toto was trying his level best either to open the bag in some way or to bite the canvas bag. But since he was making his continuous efforts, but all were in vain, he was not successful. So the result of his efforts was that the bag was rolling on the floor, or sometimes it jumped into the air. An exhibition that attracted a curious crowd of onlookers on the Dehradun railway platform. Obviously, if you are standing on a platform and you see that a bag is rolling on its own on the platform, or it is jumping up in the air, then what will happen? You will also be attracted and you will keep on looking what is happening in the bag. What is in the bag that is making it roll on its own? Nobody is doing it, but still it is jumping in the air. So it was attracting the attention of those people who were standing on the platform. Toto remained in the bag as far as Saharanpur. But while grandfather was producing his ticket at the railway turnstile means the mechanical device that allows passage after a charge has been paid. You must have seen, children, when you are on a metro station, then there are turnstiles there also. When you put your token, then only that passage opens and you can go inside or outside the platform, isn't it? So that is turnstile. I am reading this again. Toto remained in the bag as far as Saharanpur, but while grandfather was producing his ticket at the railway turnstile, Toto suddenly poked his head out of the bag and gave the ticket collector a wide grin. Now, see what he is going to do. So, as soon as grandfather was he was busy in producing his ticket to the ticket checker, what did Toto do? He managed to poke his head, to bring his head out of the bag, and he looked at the ticket collector and gave him a wide smile. The poor man was taken aback. Which poor man are we talking about? The ticket collector. The ticket collector was taken aback. He was shocked that what is this? There's a monkey in the bag. The poor man was taken aback, but with great presence of mind and much to grandfather's annoyance, he said, "Sir, you have a dog with you. You will have to pay for it accordingly." He could not see very clearly because only some little face of the monkey was visible from the bag. So he thought that it is a dog, and he said that you will have to pay, because it is a rule in Indian Railways that if you are carrying your pet animal by train, then you will have to purchase a ticket for that animal also, and you will have to pay accordingly. So the ticket checker got angry and he said that, "Sir, you are carrying a dog with you. You will have to pay for it accordingly." In vain did grandfather take Toto out of the bag. In vain did he try to prove that a monkey did not qualify as a dog. In vain. That means, although he was not willing, but he had to take out Toto from the bag so that he could show him that it is a monkey, it is not a dog, and the monkey does not qualify the ticket which is suitable for a dog to travel. That means he is just trying to say to the ticket collector that you are saying that a dog has to be paid for, the ticket has to be purchased for a dog, but it is not a dog, it is a monkey. So do not take charges from this animal as you take from a dog, for a dog. In vain did grandfather take Toto out of the bag. In vain did he try to prove that a monkey did not qualify as a dog, or even as a quadruped. Quadruped means a four-footed animal. Toto was classified a dog by the ticket collector, but the ticket collector was not ready to acknowledge that it is not a dog, it is a monkey. He was repeatedly calling it a dog. Toto was classified a dog by the ticket collector, and 3 rupees was the sum handed over as his fare. So finally, the grandfather had to pay 3 rupees to the ticket collector because he was firm that you are carrying a dog, you are carrying a dog. He was not ready to accept that he was not a dog, he was a monkey. Then grandfather, just to get his own back, took from his pocket out a pet tortoise and said, "What must I pay for this, since you charge for all animals?" Now the grandfather is getting angry because he wanted to tell the ticket collector that you are saying that you charge for dogs. I am not carrying a dog, so why you should take charge for a monkey? But the ticket collector was not ready to listen to anything, and finally he took 3 rupees. Now the grandfather took out a tortoise, a pet tortoise, from his pocket, and in an irritating tone, in an angry tone, he is asking that what I should pay for this tortoise, because you are taking money, you are charging money for all the animals. The ticket collector looked closely at the tortoise, prodded it with his forefinger, gave grandfather a pleased and triumphant look and said, "No charge, it is not a dog." Now look at the behavior of the ticket collector. He looked at the tortoise, he touched the tortoise and gave a very pleasing look at the grandfather, and with a triumphant look, that means in a victorious look, in a brave look, he said, no charge, I will not take any charge for this tortoise because it is not a dog. When Toto was finally accepted by grandfather, he was given a comfortable home in the stable. What is a stable? A stable is a place where horses are kept, where he had for a companion a family donkey, Nana. On Toto's first night in the stable, grandfather paid him a visit to see if he was comfortable. To his surprise, he found Nana without apparent cause. Without apparent cause means without any clear cause, pulling at her halter and trying to keep her head as far as possible from the bundle of hay. I am reading this again. On Toto's first night in the stable, grandfather paid him a visit to see if he was comfortable. To his surprise, he found Nana without apparent cause pulling at her halter. Nana was pulling the rope, halter is the rope, and trying to keep her head as far as possible from a bundle of hay. Hay means what? Bhusa. There was a bundle of hay in this stable, and Nana was pulling the rope as far as it could so that it could keep her head as far as possible away from a bundle of hay. Grandfather gave Nana a slap across her haunches. What are haunches? Haunches is an area around the upper thigh. Area around the upper thigh. Grandfather gave Nana a slap across her haunches, and she jerked back, dragging Toto with her. He had fastened onto her long ears. He had fastened onto her long ears with his sharp little teeth. Toto and Nana never became friends. A great treat for Toto during cold winter evenings was the large bowl of warm water given him by grandfather for his bath. He would cunningly test the temperature with his hand. Now see how intelligent is this monkey Toto. When a large bowl of warm water was given to him so that he could take a bath in the winter season, what did Toto do? He would cunningly test the temperature with his hand, then gradually step into the bath, first one foot, then the other, as he had seen me doing. That means he used to imitate the grandfather, as the grandfather used to step one foot into his bathtub, then the other. Similarly, Toto did, until he was into the water up to his neck. Once comfortable, he would take the soap in his hands or feet and rub himself all over. When the water became cold, he would get out and run as quickly as he could to the kitchen fire in order to dry himself. So you can see the behavior of this intelligent monkey. If anyone laughed at him during this performance, Toto's feelings would be hurt and he would refuse to go on with his bath. One day, Toto nearly succeeded in boiling himself alive. A large kitchen kettle had been left on the fire to boil for tea, and Toto, finding himself with nothing better to do, decided to remove the lid. Now see, sometimes mischiefs are very dangerous also. So one day Toto could have got himself burnt alive. What did he do? There was a large kitchen kettle in which water was boiling on the fire for tea, and Toto, because he had nothing better to do, he went there and he removed the lid from that kettle. Finding the water just warm enough for a bath, he got in. My goodness, he is now inside the kettle. He got in with his head sticking out of the open kettle. This was just fine for a while. For some time he was okay because the water was just warm. But later what happened? Until the water began to boil. Initially it was okay. He was feeling comfortable in the kettle because the water was warm. But later the water started boiling. Toto then raised himself a little, but finding it cold outside, sat down again. When the temperature of the water kept on increasing, he raised his body little bit, but when he found that outside it is very cold, he again sat down. He continued hopping up and down for some time until grandmother arrived and hauled him. Hauled him means pulled him out. Suddenly grandmother came there and she saw that the monkey is sitting inside the kettle, and the kettle was there was boiling water inside the kettle, and she pulled the monkey out, half boiled, out of the kettle. The monkey was in a half boiled condition, out of the kettle. If there is a part of the brain specially devoted to mischief, that part was largely developed in Toto. What does this sentence show? That Toto's brain was full of mischief. The writer is saying that if the brain had any specific part where mischiefs could be stored, then Toto's brain had that part in plenty there, because he was a very mischievous animal. He was always tearing things to pieces. Whenever one of my aunts came near him, he made every effort to get hold of her dress and tear a hole in it. My goodness, look at the mischief of this monkey. One day at lunchtime, a large dish of pulao stood in the center of the dining table. We entered the room to find Toto stuffing himself with rice. Just imagine you are in your dining room and you see that the food which is kept in the center of the dining table, some monkey is sitting there and eating it. We entered the room to find Toto stuffing himself with rice. My grandmother screamed and Toto threw a plate at her. My God. My grandmother screamed and Toto threw a plate at her. One of my aunts rushed forward and received a glass of water in the face. When one of the aunts rushed forward, then Toto threw a glass of water on her. When grandfather arrived, Toto picked up the dish of pulao and made his exit through a window. We found him in the branches of the jackfruit tree, the dish still in his arms. He remained there all afternoon, eating slowly through the rice, determined on finishing every grain. So, till all the pulao was consumed by him, he did not put the dish down. And then, in order to spite grandmother, spite means irritate, make the grandmother angry. And then, in order to spite grandmother, who had screamed at him, he threw the dish down from the tree and chattered with delight when it broke into 100 pieces. So this animal Toto, this monkey Toto, did everything to make grandmother irritated and angry. After finishing with all the pulao, what did he do? In order to irritate the grandmother more, he threw the dish down from the tree and laughed when it broke into 100 pieces. Obviously, Toto was not the sort of pet we could keep for long. So, after seeing that Toto was ruining everything, he was up to one mischief one after the other, and the mischiefs were also not small or ordinary. They were big. They caused lot of destruction in the house. He destroyed many of the things from the day he had entered the house till this time when he had broken the dish of pulao into pieces. So, the grandfather realized that Toto was not a pet animal to be kept at home for a long time. Obviously, Toto was not the sort of pet we could keep for long. Even grandfather realized that we were not well to do. That means they were not very rich people. They were middle class people. They had everything, but they were not very rich people that they could afford so many losses. We were not well to do and could not afford the frequent loss of dishes, clothes, curtains, and wallpaper. We have seen that he used to tear the dress of the aunts. He had already destroyed totally the wallpaper which was put on the wall by the grandfather. It was a beautiful wallpaper. It was totally destroyed. Then beautiful dish in which pulao was kept was broken into 100 pieces. So they are realizing, the grandfather, the writer, everybody is realizing that Toto is a very mischievous animal. He is a very mischievous monkey, and he is not a pet animal which can be kept in a house for a long time. Why? Because he is very destructive. He is destroying the curtains, he has destroyed the wallpaper, he has destroyed the dishes, he is troubling the aunts, he is tearing their dresses, and the grandfather is saying, the writer is saying that we are not well-to-do people. We are not so rich people that we can afford so many losses. If he has torn the wallpaper, we will put another wallpaper. If he has broken the costly dishes, we will again purchase new dishes. It is not so. It is not possible for a middle-class family to afford so many losses, to bear so many losses. We were not well-to-do and could not afford the frequent loss of dishes, clothes, curtains, and wallpaper. So grandfather found the Tonga driver and sold Toto back to him for only 3 rupees. Now this was good. I can say that the grandfather was lucky enough that he could find that Tonga driver once again, and he could sell this mischievous monkey Toto back to the Tonga driver for only 3 rupees. So in this way, the grandfather and his whole family must have felt relieved that this mischievous monkey was no more in their house to trouble them. Now with this we have come to an end of this lesson. In the PDF you will see the question and answers. There are only 5 answers, and see the question answers from the PDF and complete your work.